welcome to this week with Retro. That sounds so perfect. Like saying, you just never know how the schedule goes. I'm still Abdul, always joined by the namesake Retro No Girl. What's good?
Oh, very good, very good. I'm excited about being able to do this with you today. We got some interesting topics, so yeah, ready to
Yeah,
dive in. Ready to
diving
dive
in.
in. Yeah.
So definitely to dive in, since we're
Mhm.
fully back. We had the holiday, Labor Day, and things like
Yeah.
that. So
Are we
we
gonna
gotta go
have
back. Uh,
are we gonna have box office?
box office battle.
Box office battle.
Box office battle, but we're just
Yes.
diving into the titles that's really
Mhm,
standing out. Because
mhm.
we took a couple weeks off, so we're getting back into the swing of the box office. But
Yes.
the biggest thing out there right now is what we talked about last week. Retro was Beetlejuice. I can't say it a third time.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's at 335 worldwide, globally, and off a $90 million budget. Retro, just up to this day, that's what it has right now.
Mhm.
Again, domestically is crushing. Internationally, they're not as nostalgic as as us
Mhm.
over here, but it is making pretty good money, over 100 million worldwide or internationally outside
Yeah.
of domestic. Retro, what do you think with that? And just any other word of mouth you're hearing with this film? Because it seemed like you had to be kind of like locked into the nostalgia to jump
Yeah.
into this. Is what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, if this was something that you enjoyed when you were younger and you got kids now, this is kind of like, okay, let me introduce you to this thing that was cool in my day. Or you just want to know what happened to your favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us remember the cartoon show, and that was actually kind of fun as
Mm.
well. So it was a big pop culture thing for the West, if you will. I think I explained this the last time because it's dealing with the ghost and afterlife stuff. It's not going to be played in some countries, um,
Mhm.
due to different religious beliefs and things like that. But I think it's doing very well for domestic. And look, that there could be a part three to all of this, and or maybe they could go on ahead and do a TV show, whichever one, this is a franchise that has legs if they will let it,
Mhm.
if Michael Keaton is up to it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I look at the formula is is it making money, right? And
Mhm.
the fact, $90 million budget, over 300 million globally, it's making its money.
Yes.
I'm sure it has some kind of marketing deals with that as well too, or advertising deals, product placement. So this franchise still can make money, and so those money people in these studios, they're like, okay, let's find out how can we do more. Because originally, Retro, you brought out to us last week, this was supposed to have been a streaming uh, thing at first. I
Yes.
wonder if they kind of come back and say, okay, we made our money theatrically.
Yeah.
Let's throw out a streaming thing now, right? That's what I'm thinking.
They made the right choice putting this in the theater, and that's seems to be a question and a deliberation a lot of studios are needing to make now. What is the most appropriate thing to do with IPs? Should we be doing TV shows of them, or should we have them in theaters? And with something this big and iconic, you definitely need to have this was something that had to be on the big screen. And also, you can't do someone like Tim Burton like that. He is, he's of the old school and definitely wants to
Yeah,
have his movies on the big screen. These guys deserve it too. And so, look, here on out, they're making money off this.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's like I think for sure. And I said what I thought about the film. I'm not the most hardcore nostalgic Beetlejuice person, right? So I was like, okay, I know Michael Keaton. Okay, I'll watch this. Winona Ryder, you
Yeah.
know, Jenna Ortega, is in it. So I was like, okay, I'll check this out. And so I still felt like it was kind of outside of my kind of viewership bubble because I
Hmm.
just wasn't all in with that franchise. But it was entertaining enough. You had to kind of get through the first act if
Okay.
you're now like hardcore with this, because it's like some weird stuff they do that only they will get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But then once you get like to this overall story with the Jenna Ortega character, and she kind of pushes the plot along, and that's when it's like, okay, this is a story kind of everybody can jump into. Again, if you can kind of stomach the first act of the weird nostalgia of this. So
Hmm.
and I think that's why it's making this money. It didn't have the highest audience score, but again, this is kind of a niche audience, to be quite honest.
Yes.
And it's,
Yes. It
that's
is.
the thing is it's still successful doing this niche thing. So I gotta applaud it for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really, you know, I haven't gotten a chance to see it because I haven't gotten a shuttle to go down to planet Earth yet. But this is definitely one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing whenever it's available. It really is, it is playing on that nostalgia. There's still a
Yeah.
lot of, Generation Xers out there that want to enjoy this. And so I think this was a great idea to have this on the big screen. Um,
Yeah,
and I really think that this is a franchise that can continue even without Beetlejuice, but also it can continue just in general,
mhm.
to find out what happens to these characters over time. And this world is very interesting.
Yeah, as far as like how the film kind of ends, there's always a way for Beetlejuice to come back, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they can figure out, you know what I'm saying? If they want to rack their brain enough, they can figure out a way to bring back Michael Keaton. Because
Yes.
I'll be honest, like Reggie, like this film, if it didn't have Michael Keaton, it wouldn't work.
Oh, really?
These films, yeah, this film wouldn't work at all if
Mm.
Keaton was not in this.
Oh boy.
And he's in it more. He's in it more than people think. That's the thing. They were kind of tricking people. Say, oh,
Interesting.
he's kind of he pops up here and there. It's like no,
Mhm.
he's a pretty big part of this film. I mean, you're talking about this Keaton, and then you got the Jenna Ortega like a little arc, but that ties into Keaton, later. So, yeah, this film it has the components. You don't need Jenna Ortega, but if you do Keaton
Oh.
and Winona Ryder, you could do a whole other film. You could literally do it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You totally could.
Wow. Okay. I love your
Yeah,
take on this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's worth the watch. It's worth the watch for the nostalgic reasons, and then you kind of decide from there if uh if that's your jam. Now,
Mm.
another film that's in theaters now, I still haven't got a chance to watch this. The Transformers One
Oh,
film. Been hearing so much about this.
yes.
Now, one thing with this, which I don't know if it's like a cause of caution, but is $75 million production. It's just crossing 41 million today.
Yes.
I'm wondering. And this is what I will say because I
Yeah.
haven't watched this yet, but
Yeah.
I think the marketing is pretty horrible.
It's horrible.
Like,
Yeah.
because no one knows about this film. I was talking to a family member the other day, and it was like, "What is it, Transformers? It's a new movie." And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Yes, an animated." They're like, "What? What's going on?" Like, no one know. Like, general
Yes.
audience, right?
No.
Has no idea. Now, this is Paramount. Now, we've been
Yes.
talking. If people don't have been keeping up with us, Paramount, they're very hit or miss with their marketing, and they don't make a
Yeah.
lot of good decisions. And spending a $75 million on an animated Transformers One, which again, word of mouth, people that seen this retro, they
Oh.
love it.
I've
People
been
love it.
hearing
What have you heard?
so
Yeah,
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 I've been hearing people say how much this is like the best movie they've seen.
yeah.
And there's like kids love the movie. It's great for the whole family. I think there may be one like dirty joke and they put it in the commercial in the trailer. And like the thing about this is that it goes against all of the things that Hollywood has been saying. Oh, you need to have, certain things in your films in order for it to meet certain quotas and things like that.
Mhm.
And this is just doing its own thing. It's very it harkens back to some of the original Transformers, but also reimagines them in a brand new way, as far as I've been told from the story. People are
Mhm.
loving it. They're loving this kind of entertainment. I hate to get into like girl brands and boy brands, but this is a boy brand. From from my recollection when I was growing up, all the
Right,
little boys were playing with Transformers. I
for
watched
sure.
the cartoons and I loved it, but I didn't get a chance to really get into it as much as like other boy kids did. And it's like they have been starved for this kind of
Mhm.
content. But I think the problem with this movie, besides the marketing being non-existent, is really the timing, because
Mhm.
kids are back to school, you
Okay,
know?
okay,
So
okay. Timing, yeah, you
the
talk about that a
timing,
lot,
they
yeah.
weren't doing anything this summer.
So
You
this
had
should have been a month earlier, retro, basically, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you gotta
yeah.
understand, like, when to put out these movies. You can't just drop it whenever. The best time
Right.
for this, Labor Day weekend, it would have been great
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
4th of July. Look at
Oh,
all the
after,
red, white,
Deadpool
blue.
Wolverine, retro, after
Yeah,
Deadpool Wolverine blew up, they should have put this out a couple weeks after that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, in
Uh,
August. Yeah,
this is about timing, and
yeah, yeah.
again, only thing that's driving this is word of mouth. Now, I think if they
Yeah.
don't pull the plug on this too soon, because they have every once in a while they'll pull a movie too soon
Mhm.
and put it on streaming. Maybe people might be able to take their kids to see this. Remember, the people don't have all week to take their kids to see this. Um, and
Right,
and
right.
and here's the good part about this, it's so good that a lot of adults are going back to see it again.
Mhm.
So
I
that is
I'm
going to help.
I I'm hearing some insane word of mouth, like, because usually I don't pay attention. Like, you're the
Yes.
word of mouth person, retro. If you don't know this by now, like you're the word of mouth person
I
because
listen.
I don't listen to anyone, but like I listen to you, and so, but I was getting like some insane word of mouth. Like I was like,
Mhm.
whoa! I'm like, where's this coming from? And like they were like, this is on the level of like the '80s
Yes,
Transformers
yes,
animated film, which we've all watched that. Like that's
yeah.
like holy grail of animated Transformers, right?
Yes, yes,
So
it's with Orson Welles
when
and
you
everything
when,
is
exactly
fantastic.
you mentioned that in the same sense of this, like, okay, I gotta watch it, right? I mean, I just gotta find the time, but I'm gonna check it out. I just hope it makes enough money, retro. That's the only thing I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, the upside was that, on Monday, let me see if I can find it, but it made a lot of money on Monday.
Mhm.
So, people are starting to think, okay, well, maybe there's a
We
chance.
should
It
check
says,
this out.
Paramount's Transformers grossed 1.25 million on Monday from
Which is good.
3,978 locations. It's,
Just not to
they're
cut you off,
mhm,
not to cut you off, but like yeah, just under 4,000 locations. That's not the full capacity. That's the thing. This has not had a full release,
yeah,
which is interesting. It's
yeah.
animated, so I get it, right? Some theater chains may not, but by this capacity, 1.25 million is pretty good for a Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, for Monday, yes. So I'm thinking that people are slowly learning about this movie, slowly hearing the word of mouth, and people are making double trips back to see this movie. It is, when you have kids walking out of the theater saying this is the best movie I've ever seen, mommy and daddy, that is the kind of recommendation you want. That's the kind of movie
Yeah,
you want to expose your kids to, you know?
exactly. Exactly.
And
So yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think for the just the fact that there has been a lot of movies geared towards, not promoting this kind of stuff, any like uh um, you know, uh positive boy
Mhm.
imagery for
Mhm.
boy children. I think this is a great um a great option
Interesting.
for them. It's just kind of I like everybody to have something. I don't, everybody should
Right, right.
have a little bit of entertainment that could be geared toward them, inspire them. They said the messaging in this movie is actually really great about friendships and um, just
Mhm. Mhm.
incredible storytelling that they did in this movie across the
Mhm.
board with like the weird, like some of the most critical critics that I've heard have said that this is really incredible. So,
Interesting. So yeah, I
yeah,
think this is a sleeping hit. It's just
yes,
people got to realize it's there, and animated scares people off, right? I've
yes,
noticed this with just
yes,
with me covering content and stuff like that. It's like animated. It's like it's
yes,
put on the back burner. But it's like now, like you have some high quality voice talent.
yes,
Chris Hemsworth is headlining this in this, and that's a big name. That's
yeah,
Thor. So
yeah,
people, should be signed up for him. And the hardcore Transformers people are saying this is legit. And
yeah.
that's what I do with any franchise retro.
Oh
I
yeah,
say,
you,
okay, just like with Beetlejuice, we talk about that. I'm like, okay, the hardcores, are they
yeah,
are they liking it?
yes,
Or if they give me a vote of confidence, oh, okay. Like I'm a DC person, so I'll tell you if I'm like, oh, is DC where it's
yeah,
supposed to be? But so I
yeah,
respect those of other franchises when they're saying we give it the nod of approval. Transformers One gets it, from
yes,
Transformers hardcore fans, and so I still
yes.
got to check this out, and I can't wait to kind of jump into this and talk about it
Yeah,
more.
I can't wait to see it when I can get a chance to.
Hmm. Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and as me and Retro say, we hope like these projects make money, make the money they need to make,
Yeah,
because like I felt they spent too much. They spent too much money. They spent too much money on this one, and that's why I'm like, 75 million for animated. It
yeah.
should have been like 20, 30 at the
It
tops.
it
You
was the
know,
voice acting that they spent all the money on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, man, like you gotta be a little more smart. But it's Paramount, so they
yeah,
we gotta look at them with a side eye. So hopefully this makes the money it needs to make. I'm
yeah.
gonna check it out, and I'll definitely talk about it more when I check it out. But
Yeah, and I do
yeah,
think that, next week we might get a bigger boost next week because the word of mouth is getting out there. It's just taking some
that's good.
time. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it for next week
Yeah,
because
the
see.
old fashioned way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
As if they don't pull the plug on it and like, oh, we're just taking
right.
it off.
It's, I know, it's like, relax, let people figure it out. But
I,
again, that's on
yeah.
Paramount. This marketing, this
Oh,
would have been, man, like right after Deadpool Wolverine,
yeah.
July, I believe, right?
Yep.
Couple weeks
July.
after that, just jump in there with this.
Oh,
Like, there's
please.
no reason to wait till like end of September. There's
Yeah.
no reason, But anyway.
Yeah. And even the coloring looks like it's, perfect for summer.
It's summer. Exactly. This is summer. This is early August. That's what these
Yeah.
because we understand Marvel, Deadpool, Hugh Jackman back. They own the
Mhm.
summer. We get
Yes,
it.
they
Right?
did. Oh, yeah,
1.3,
that's
4
true.
million, whatever they got. They broke the record for rated R film ever. So the kids showed up for rated R films as well. And they
Yes.
made their money. This should have been right after that. That's what I would say. It's a
Yeah.
month too late. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
we'll see.
yeah, hopefully we'll cross our fingers it turns around for that.
Yeah, yeah, we're cheering for you, Paramount. Come on,
Yeah,
Paramount.
come on,
But so just transition to a studio. Sometimes they get it right more than that, right? Marvel Studios and Marvel TV boss wants to make Ghost Rider Disney Plus series Shout out to my friends over there on small screen.
Yeah,
Couple, they've been cranking out stories like you know, pretty much every day, and they reported this about Ghost Rider.
yeah,
I've been hearing about this as well too, Retro. So this is very interesting. This Ghost Rider angle,
yeah,
and our late great friend Mikey Sutton has been talking about Ghost Rider for like 2 years. He's been talking about this.
yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Definitely, yeah. This story is living on and is getting new traction. What do you think with this Ghost Rider Marvel? This is part of the angle. They got to kind of get this type of genre, right? You think?
Yeah, I'm just feeling like they have been really hitting the wall when it comes to Disney Plus series, though.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And it's about, I'm just afraid that with something like Ghost Rider, I think it really feels like it should be a movie. But
I
I
agree.
know, yeah, I mean, but I think also too, I don't think they have a real place for him in the MCU. Like, how is he?
Mm,
Because the question is, and people will always ask, even if it's a TV show, how does this matter in the bigger picture with, the Thunderbolts and, uh, uh, you know, Fantastic Four? How does this all work together? How do they fit in the story? How does all these players fit in the story? They're asking that about
mm,
Agatha right now. And, in my opinion, I think that
yeah.
these are, like, separate stories and, really don't have anything to do with it, but a lot of people keep asking, like, why should I waste my time with these shows if they don't matter in the big picture of it? So, this is a tough
Mhm.
one for me because I like Ghost Rider a lot. I loved the movies, um, n that, and that they did. And I think w
Mhm.
even though they weren't, like, the best, Ghost Rider, you can have some fun with Ghost
It
Rider.
wasn't the best, right?
No,
Those
no.
movies wasn't the best
They
with
were
Nicolas Cage,
fun, though. They were
but
so
this
much fun.
this is what I'll say, Retro, with Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I think Marvel needs to really, you know, realize, okay, what the quality we're doing with series with these Disney Plus
Yes.
series.
Yes.
And you look over across the aisle there. I don't know if you checked this out, but with DC, the Penguin series is
Yes.
doing like bonkers over there with HBO and Max.
Yes.
Um, it's
And
transcended to the general audience, and Marvel has to figure this out, Retro.
yeah, I think it comes down to the way, shows are handled, from, the writing perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um What I'm seeing in almost all the shows, including Star Wars, all the Disney Plus shows,
Right.
is you have a character, or you have characters, and then you have these mystery boxes that you don't get opened until like the last episode, and it's just spin and spin, like literally
Mm.
watching people walk into rooms and stretching out the content. Like,
Talking about
imagine,
Boba Fett, basically.
yeah,
That's what you're
watch
talking
them
about.
walk, like, where are we like, why am I patiently waiting for the story to pick
Right.
up, you know? And
Oh
when
my
it
god.
does get to the action, you're just like, "Okay, well, how does this, affect any of the bigger
Right.
picture?" So, I don't want them to do anything like that with Ghost Rider because I think it's
Mm.
such a cool character. I would love for them to
Yeah.
do something great with it, like Blade, like
Yeah.
Werewolf by
Yeah.
Night. I mean, they did that one movie and that was
That was
it.
wonderful.
Yeah, it
That
wasn't
Werewolf
it
by Night was
great? I know.
magnificent.
Okay, and so you know why that worked? It
uh,
worked because it was one movie, and maybe that's what they should do.
self-contained.
Instead of doing this as a series, maybe
Mm.
a
I see what you're saying. One
Disney Plus
presentation.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because all of these things, even, even the Ahsoka series. One guy edited it down to a 2-hour movie. Kai
Oh
Patterson.
wow. See,
Yeah.
I would want to watch that one
Yeah.
shot story.
Yes.
Yeah.
A nice little 2-hour movie. You get an auteur director come in there, put
Mhm.
their flavor in it, at the same
Mhm.
time deliver a story that's really contained. And
Totally.
and we can buy that movie is on its own, it's doing its own thing, and maybe there's a part two, but we're not depending on the part two. And I would have
Mhm.
really loved a second movie for the Werewolf by Night, and
Yeah,
because
totally.
I thought it was just
Oh,
so
I
well
love
done.
the vibe of that. I
Yes,
just love the
yes.
vibe. I was like, yo, like let's go into this whole, weird world, right? That they're giving
Yes,
us, not connected to nothing, right? I don't gotta
yeah,
know about Loki or Avengers or whatever.
yes,
It's like,
mm,
and it deliver, and then it set up Man Thing. So
yes,
you
Man
got like
Thing.
two projects right there. You could do another werewolf by
Yeah.
night and a Man Thing, and they're just sitting on their hands, retro, for a couple
No,
years.
well, they're sitting on their hands, but they're working on these series that
Ah,
are bloated. And I don't
yeah,
like. I happen to be watching Agatha
yeah.
all along, and I didn't
Mhm,
get to see this last episode. But even
mhm.
from the 2 episodes I saw, there was so much bloat in there, and I was like,
I
"Come
would
on,
say,
let's
I,
tell this
I would say
story."
to you, retro, because like I'm I like the Agatha show just overall. It has its
Mhm.
flaws, obviously, but um, the story they're trying to tell, that could be a 2-hour story.
A
Whatever
2-hour
they're talking about,
journey.
I guarantee once it's over, you could do this in 2 hours.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because
Like,
yeah, because so far after watching 2 episodes, I feel like I actually watched about 15 minutes of content. So,
oh,
that you
interesting.
understand what I mean? When you
Yeah,
start to
totally,
edit
totally.
out, like, all the stuff that didn't matter,
The fluff.
it's
Yeah,
too much fluff. It's spin, it's fluff,
yeah.
and I think, the thing about uh, uh, I wouldn't say that HBO or Max has it better or can, doesn't have
Mhm.
any fluff at all. And I find some of their shows to have fluff, but it's not as bad. They're doing
Right.
more to tell the story in each episode, where at the end you feel like, oh, okay, I did feel like there was some gratification or a change in the story or a new level for us
Right.
to get to.
I'm gonna give more credit to the HBO side though. I think like with the
Mhm,
Last of Us series, you got a lot of
mhm.
fans of that. I haven't really dived into it, but I know there's fans of
Yes.
that. And then this new Penguin series. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't talk about it enough. This is like the Sopranos meets Breaking Bad. That's
That's
literally
what I've
what
heard.
that, and
Yeah.
HBO is a brand of quality, right? And
Yes.
they're really pushing that with Colin Farrell and the team with him over there. And so
Yeah.
Marvel is not on that level at all. I mean, I'm just gonna be quite honest. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I know people like WandaVision, like most of that season, but that fell
Mhm.
apart late. Um,
Yes.
Marvel and Disney has not figured out the art of series. They should do like probably like more presentations, like one shot films. That's
Yes.
what they really should do
They've been doing
until they
okay with
figure
that.
out
Yeah,
retro, until they figure out how to do the long form, that
yeah,
HBO does. Yeah.
yeah. Because I think it's all across the board on Disney. Disney, Star Wars, like,
Mhm.
their
Mhm.
shows are like, I have such a hard time, like, really liking any of the shows, um,
Mhm.
and even the ones I wanna like Obi-Wan, I wanted to love so
Oh
bad, and I still
man.
have some affection for a lot of their, like, special scenes that I really love.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was just like, "Oh,
That hurt
no."
my feelings, retro. Watching Obi-Wan, I was ready for like some greatness. it hurt my feelings, man. It really.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it. I still like it more than a lot of other people do,
That's good. That's good.
but it had big problems, and all
Yeah.
the shows seemed to kind of have the only show that did not seem to have some kind of magic to it was The Mandalorian season 1. That was
Yeah.
just
Oh,
incredible.
that was
Yeah,
appointment television,
yeah,
Virtual.
yeah, yeah. I really say that had magic, and
Hmm.
season 2 wasn't terrible, but uh, I I probably don't fall in the same category as everybody else with loving season 2, but
It's
it
about the
was
Luke. It's about the Luke Skywalker retro. It's about the Luke Skywalker ending that
yeah
capped off the season. Yeah, that's
that did
it
that for
covered
a
a
lot.
lot of sins. Yeah,
Yeah,
they covered a lot.
yeah. For me, that didn't work for me, but I know it did for a
Oh,
lot of other people. Love
okay,
that moment.
okay.
It was TV history.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I think from the high of that, something happened.
It's like
Something
meh,
happened, yeah, after that,
meh.
because almost every show has been
Oh,
um, just like
well,
disappointing.
I'll give a little shout. Andor,
Oh yes,
but
Andor.
but
Yes, Andor.
only
Sorry.
because
Yes,
they purposely did a long form, like from the beginning. They
yes,
say we're
yes,
going to tell multiple seasons of this story.
yes,
Now, so it goes back on the creators, retro,
yes,
right? It's like
yes,
who is the showrunner and who's behind this? And
yes.
you want to tell a 3-season story, which Andor is supposed to be, just to let people
Mhm.
know. When they did season 1, I was given production information that they were shooting season 2 and 3 back to back.
Mm,
And then they talked about season 2 coming out and they pushed it back. I think because they want to really string this out for a couple more seasons of
yeah.
content of Andor. And they get it. Again, it's about the creators behind it. What
Okay.
story are you trying to tell? Because we go back to Marvel. I don't know, like Falcon and Winter Soldier. What story? That story they're trying to tell?
That
That's a
did
2-hour
not
story.
work. Yeah,
That's a
that did not.
2-hour story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They could have
WandaVision was the
easily
closest they
made it.
had, and,
Yeah,
and Loki, and Loki's good too.
Loki was good. I loved Loki.
Yeah.
But She-Hulk,
Mm,
and you know
mm.
what? I never did try out watching that other show. I can't even remember the name of it, but
Yeah.
um, you see,
I'm sorry. The show that
point
won't be
already
named.
taken. Point taken. I
that
can't
that says it right there. The show, but no, Loki. I
remember.
think the
Oh,
creators
Miss
behind that.
Marvel. Miss Marvel.
So Miss Marvel was not bad retro. It
Yeah, I
it
heard it
may
was good.
bore some people. It may bore because you don't know these characters and you're spending a lot of time with them.
Yeah,
You're like, I don't really care yet, right? I don't really
yeah.
care about you yet. But
A
you
2-hour
look at
movie, though.
exactly. Miss Marvel's adorable. You see this
Yeah.
this this
Oh,
this,
she's
this
so
kid.
cute.
She's adorable. It's like, oh yeah, I want to watch her story. Yeah, yeah. But then you mix in all this other stuff. It's like, I don't want to watch all this other stuff.
Yeah,
You know, just give me her story for, like you said, 2 hours,
yeah.
and I think you can accomplish what you need to accomplish.
They would save money. They
Mhm.
would save time. They'd get more
True.
views. I mean, I think they should go, they should think about it. So, yeah,
No
this was very
question.
interesting to me, like to see Ghost Rider as a Disney Plus series. I'm like, how are the series working out for you? Not that good.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So we'll see. I mean, I know Feige. He's been talking about this for a couple of years. Again, late
it could
great
be
Mikey
so much
Sutton's been talking
fun.
about this. Mikey was saying a presentation. So if this is crossing over the series, we're
Mhm.
going backwards. We're going backwards with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Give us a 90-minute story.
Mm, yes.
I think that will work for Ghost Rider. Werewolf by Night was I think a 60-minute story or something like that. So
Mhm.
like a contained story and just give us the character. That's all. Give us a good story. That's all
Yeah,
we need.
yeah.
That's all we need with that. So interesting. Now, There's an example, I guess, of people saying that's a good story. They got a series out there, Twilight of the Gods. Zack Snyder has struck again. I've been seeing so many accounts on social media, various like interests, retro. Like this is the people I talk to every day. They're saying, "Yo, Twilight of the Gods, like this is it." Zack Snyder and Jay Oliva is a part of this as well.
Yes.
They have given the Norse mythology like another boost, is making people look into this genre more. And this is Zack Snyder. This is Rebel Moon director's cut Zack Snyder. That's what you're getting with he's going all the way with this, and I'm loving it. I haven't finished this season yet. People are actively calling for a second season, not just Snyder Bros. I'm talking about people, just random people I'm seeing on my timeline. That's there. Various backgrounds are calling for Twilight of the Gods season 2 because it immersed that much to them, to the Norse mythology. And again, I'm only a couple episodes into it. At this time, I do my own reactions and things like that.
Yes.
Zack Snyder Unchained retro. That's what you're with this show. Have you heard any word of mouth with this?
Yeah. So far, I've been hearing good things. There's, of course, some people that have been critical of it, but nothing like any of the other things that usually people are saying about Zack Snyder stuff. And somehow, some people will figure out a way to insult him in the process, like,
of course.
And so, but I think at the same time saying that they like the series. And so, I have not gotten the chance to watch it yet because of my schedule, but I can't wait to see this. They're just saying so many great things about like how good it is. It's raw. It's graphic. It's like
yes, it is. Again, I mean, I saw like 3 or 4 episodes so far.
Yeah.
So this is Zack Snyder Unchained. This is, whatever you thought of the Norse mythology. There's something on social media. They're talking about his version of Thor and Loki. That people are like, yo, like this Thor, we don't like this. Not like we don't like what he's doing. We don't like the acts of this Thor. Like this is a terrible Thor, the terrible person that this Thor is. And Zach is leaning all the way into it. And it works though. That's the thing. You want to make Thor, all of a sudden he's this big bad now. I guess spoiler alert for people. He's a big bad of this series. You're like, what? Like everything you thought you knew about Norse mythology, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm totally on board. I gotta finish it. I'm gonna talk more about this for sure.
Okay, yeah.
When I watch the whole thing.
All right, yes. I'm hoping to catch it, so maybe next week I'll have more to say about it. I can't wait to watch it. It looks fantastic. Yeah, it looks really great.
For sure. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So I mean, again, anytime you let Zack Snyder like just go unchained, it's like, bring me more of that. Let's go.
Yeah, I need to see like more projects from him. He's just, he's just so interesting. I love his style. I gel with it.
There's plenty more in the chamber. He's planning a lot. I mean, great relationship with Netflix, and then he's reconnected with Warner Brothers. Then I was reporting a couple months ago he got connected with another studio as well. Like Zack Snyder's a madman. He's going to be working with everyone and infiltrating content, with all different angles. So
yeah,
that's going to be cool.
I'm so glad for him. I really am. I'm like super happy for him.
For sure. So we'll see what comes of that. More feedback of that show again on this platform. I would definitely, once I finish the season, I'm gonna talk plenty more about Twilight of the Gods, just like and stuff like that. So that's gonna be really fun to dive more into that. Now, there's other projects we mentioned on on Netflix as well. I just got like a couple of clips of it, but we're talking about Devil May Cry on
Yes.
Netflix. And I will say this is a game, right? If
Yes.
okay, take it
This is
away
a
because
well,
you
I
know more
don't
about it.
know much about it either. All
Okay,
I know
gotcha,
is
gotcha,
that I saw
gotcha.
this trailer and I was like, sign me up immediately.
Okay, I remember hearing about this game like when I was younger about
Me
Devil May
too.
Cry. I was like, okay, I'm like, what's going on with this, right? And
Yeah.
so they got this new series. Again, it's on Netflix, and there's a lot to this. I got to get more into the lore. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Of the show.
Yeah.
But according to what you were or hearing or saying about this is I guess a pretty big project. Capcom and Netflix Studios coming together. This coming out next spring.
Ugh.
Devil May Cry. I'm sure there's probably several people that's going to watch this stream. It's like, oh my god, this is my jam. I had no idea. I had no idea, right? But I respect you, but I don't know enough about this.
I
But
don't
all I know is
yeah.
this is a pretty big thing for Netflix coming out next spring.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I have not I remember hearing about the game and I
Mhm,
was like, "Oh, that's a that cool name." And I
mhm,
never did get a chance to get involved with learning about it or sometimes I'll watch like the cut scenes of games and I'll learn about the storyline. But this um animated series, I looked at just the trailer and I was like blown away. I was like, I need to see this. And I guess I was a little bit more primed after watching Terminator Zero, to see that anime. And I was like, oh gosh, anime is I'm missing out on something really special here. So I need to get
mhm,
involved in this a little bit more. I can't wait to see it next year. So that's on my list of
mhm,
things like
for
must
sure.
see for sure in
Hey,
next year.
Netflix doing great stuff with animated projects. You told me about
Oh,
the
yes.
Terminator, Zero. I got to get more into that. And they do like Castlevania. They do all kinds of stuff. And
Mhm.
we talk about Zack Snyder's Twilight of the Gods. That's on
Yes,
Netflix as well. They're
yes.
doing some pretty big stuff. And so for sure,
Mhm.
I'm definitely be on board when this comes out again for quality anime, type stuff that
Yes.
that they're doing over there. So good
Yes.
stuff with that. Mhm.
Mhm.
Totally, totally.
That's
So we'll see.
you stopped it, like, right at like, one of the best pictures. I'm like, "Dang, that's cool."
Like bringing you in, like
What is
we'll
happening
be
here?
we will be here next spring for sure, for sure. Now, there's a new trailer that popped up. We got some more footage we're going to talk about. It's another film that's coming out. Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. They got a vampire film, period piece that's coming out. I believe this is coming out. What's my date on this? I think this is next spring as well, March 7th.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, you're talking about this is Fruitvale Station. This is Creed. This is stuff they did. Like they're doing like Oscar level stuff anytime they get together.
yeah.
So with this project here, have you seen the full trailer yet,
Yes,
Richard?
yes, I have, yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's a little
very
twin thing
interesting.
going on here. But what'd you think? Yeah, what'd you think with that?
Well, I thought, I'm not sure what to think yet. I don't, have enough information, but, they what I was able to get was that it's set in like a certain time period. Let me see if I can remember.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's set up
it's
in the past for sure.
it's set up in the past, and it's just looks like in the 1930s Jim Crow South.
30s.
Okay,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
too like loving that, to be honest, but
Okay.
I think Coogler is just a special storyteller. So I'm sure
Mhm.
I will put myself in his hands as
Okay.
I'm watching this because I have a funny feeling it's going to be really, really good. And Michael B. Jordan, it looks like he's putting in such a good performance in this,
Oh, he's ready. He's
right?
ready for this. Like I'm a fan of like again creative people working together.
Mhm.
You know, like Coogler and his brother. His brother's a writer as well.
Mm, mm.
Um, and Michael B. Jordan and his team, they make magic. Again, that's why I said Fruitvale Station. That's where most of us learned about Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Outside of The Wire, he was on The Wire as well,
Oh,
very
mhm.
early on. And Creed, the Creed
Yes.
film, that was
Creed.
Coogler, Michael B.
Mhm,
Jordan with Sylvester Stallone.
mhm,
Um, they did Creed 3. Well, Michael B. Jordan did Creed 3
mhm.
himself.
Yes.
And then Coogler, this is Black Panther, this is Wakanda, this is what
Yeah.
he does. You put all that together, man. I'm looking forward to what they put together here. Like this is
Yeah.
an event film, as they've been saying overall.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he has control, because I don't feel like he had that much control over the last movie, the
Mhm.
Wakanda movie. I don't think he did. Um,
Yeah, the Wakanda
it looks
Forever.
like it got
Coogler was
hijacked a
like,
little.
yeah, he was like, let me finish out my contract. You know what I mean? Like, let's just finish this out. Yeah, yeah.
Let's do what they tell me to
I don't put
do.
that on Coogler at all. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I don't hold that against him. And I think especially with Michael B. Jordan also having directed and they're really good collaborators. I think we're in for a treat. And
Mhm.
and then it has like the added bonus of being what they said a vampire film. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Where's
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
how is this gonna work?
Okay. Like, hey,
Um, okay.
they got a pretty good cast. They got
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo, who's one of my favorite actors ever. He's
Yes,
in
yes,
this
yes, yes, yes,
film.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, they got several people in here. I'm like, yo, like, let's see what they're cooking up, right? That's what I'm just ready to see what they got here because they didn't show
Yeah,
us a lot in this trailer. And
they
I like.
didn't. Yeah, because I think this movie is gonna come out in May, I believe.
Yeah,
So we got
March. Yeah,
March,
March
March.
7th.
We
Mhm.
got a long way to go before the
For sure.
movie comes
Exactly.
out.
Exactly.
So I think we're probably gonna get another more expressive trailer, I hope. That it gives us a
For sure.
little bit more story. I hope it doesn't tell us too much of just a but this scene right here where he's shooting at someone, I mean, the guy is swole. I mean,
I'll let you. I wouldn't have pointed it out. I'll let you point it out. I wouldn't have
crazy.
pointed
He's
it out.
huge.
Well,
I
he's
mean,
like in Creed form. Like he's like that's what he did for Creed, the
I
films.
know.
He's
And is it
smaller,
necessary for him to be
yeah.
like, oh my God. So yeah, he's definitely I'm like, what is he gonna do in this
What are he
movie?
gonna do with the slowness?
So yeah, and it looks like he was like on some sort of drug and so there's a lot of storytelling that they tried to show in the trailer, but again, we won't know until we get to see more
Yeah,
of this because it is very mysterious right now. Looks like a, a horror movie, but what kind of horror movie is it?
you're right. What are we
Where
signing up for with this? But I
yeah,
would say that the talent involved with this, I'm
incredible.
going to be lined up. Yeah, I'm going to be lined up to watch this, and we'll just see. You know what I'm saying? How they execute this,
Mm,
but
yes,
yeah, I'm looking forward to
intriguing.
this
Yeah.
this mysterious film.
Well, here's something that's really interesting, and when this movie trailer came out, it was trending on X. And, when
Mm,
I was going through the when I was going through the postings, a lot of this was talking there were a lot of people talking about Jonathan Majors, and I was like, why would people be talking about Jonathan Majors?"
right.
And I think it was because there's a rumor out that Jonathan was, initially cast to play
Oh.
this character that Michael B. Jordan
Oh,
is playing. And there's actually no real like proof of that. No one said
okay,
anything
okay.
about that. It's kind of a rumor that's going on out there. I won't say
Interesting.
it's not true because I don't know, but
Well,
definitely it's something that that people were talking about, and I thought it was something we should
that's
mention.
that's interesting,
Yeah.
and I mean, just based off again, just of course, just what we know of the situation.
Mhm.
Michael B. Jordan brought on Jonathan Majors for Creed 3, right? That
Yeah.
was Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut,
Yeah.
and he brought him on, and they were talking a lot. Again, this is before the charges on Majors, right?
Yes.
Um, him and Michael B. Jordan was talking about doing multiple films together. So I just wonder, and this is just me wondering, I'm just wondering, this film is starring Michael B. Jordan, and then he's playing a twin of himself.
Oh, you think
I
that the
just wonder
other.
if they were playing brothers. Yeah, I just wonder if Jonathan Major
Oh,
was the other guy, and because of the
that's a
media
good.
backlash,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because Michael B. Jordan's playing twins now.
Yes.
Um, but originally maybe it was him and Jonathan Majors, which would have been amazing. Like
Yes.
if he was, my goodness, that would have
Yes.
been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That would have been really
oh
cool.
my goodness, that
Oh,
would have been
man.
amazing. And it's like but we know. I mean, Jonathan Majors, he's back working, right? He's
Yes.
getting roles.
Mhm.
It just
Mhm.
maybe it wasn't the right time for him to be in this film. But my God, I'm sure again. I'm sure Michael B. Jordan's gonna do a great job doing the duplicity role. I'm pretty sure
I think
he'll do good.
so. Yeah, I
But
think so.
man, if you had Jonathan Majors playing the opposite, I'm like, oh my god, that would have been amazing. That would have been
Yeah, yeah. I think that's
amazing.
what a lot of
Oh
people are
man.
reeling kind of like looking at this and saying, "Oh,
Oh man.
yeah." I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. And
Whew.
it's I mean, without knowing exactly, like, see, I'm really now curious as to see this movie to find out like what all is
Mhm.
entailed. And like, yeah, could we just slide Jonathan Majors in there, you
Right.
know?
It would have been dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just a little supporting role,
Yeah,
with his crew. I'm just saying, like I said, I mean, Jonathan made it. The good thing is that we know he's getting work again.
yeah, he's getting work again.
Um,
He's finishing up his sentence, which is to get like
exactly.
therapy for
Exactly.
52
He's
months.
finishing up the therapy, which is
Mhm.
good, which is
Yes.
good that he's doing that as well. Because this is
I'm
life
sorry for
lessons. Like
taking
you
breaks.
Yeah, you gotta know when you're in a bad situation, you have
Mhm.
to realize when you gotta get out of a bad situation. And like he didn't know that. He's paying the price for that,
Yes.
being a star. So but I think he's gonna build his road back up. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope that, he will reestablish, his relationship with these guys and they can all do something
Hmm.
really cool together. Um,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I think
and
it's possible.
yeah, I think so too. And then
Yeah, because hearing the talks of Michael B. Jordan was talking about Jonathan Majors during Creed 3.
mm,
They were talking about that they were going to do multiple projects together. They were literally talking about that out loud. They're like, we're
yeah.
going to be the next, De Niro and who acts
Nice.
with De
I
Niro
hope
all
they
the time.
still do it. I hope they still do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The other guy that acts with De Niro, they was like, we're going to do like multiple. Yeah, we're going to do different characters and different genres. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like Jonathan, he paid his price. I mean, if we're talking about the justice system,
Yes.
he was sentenced. He's paying his price for that.
Yes.
Now he can still be gainfully employed. Let's
Yeah.
let him get
And
back
that
into his art. Yeah.
And that's why I really didn't want him to appeal because, it would look like he wasn't, willing to take the consequences for
Contrite.
whatever
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
whether he was guilty or not. And
Yeah.
so I know for some people it's the principle and all that stuff. I was like, sometimes you've got to just pay the price.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think him doing this and staying out of trouble, meaning that he's not going to be engaging in that behavior. He's not going to be hanging out with weird people that are going to be chasing him down the street.
Hey, I,
Which is, I don't think it's his fault, but I think
it's not his fault,
but
but
it
I've
is,
said
yeah.
this is one thing I'm learning. It's like the people you surround yourself with, you're going to end up being accountable. If you're like the star name over that, you're accountable for the people you're around. And so if you're in a messed up relationship, you have to realize you got to get out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. Right? And that's his sin in this, right? Like that's his sin in this, is that he didn't realize he had to get himself. And so, whatever that takes, he's in a situation now. He's paying for
He's doing the right thing.
Right. And I mean, it seems like he has a good woman on the side now. Maybe she'll, kick him in the backside if he if he needs it when needed. Yeah, and he can learn from this, right? But he's so super talented. Like, my viewers know how much I love Jonathan Majors. Like, I want the best for this man, but it's like you can't get in situations like that, bro. You can't go on like that, right?
And the police, he was pretty much, as soon as they found him, they were like, "Yep, we got one," and it was. And whether it was because he was a celebrity or they just didn't like him or whatever the case would be.
He's a celebrity. He's black. Maybe he's not as social as
they
people
pounced
want.
on him.
Yeah, they're gonna make an example out of you.
Yeah. And so he's I really like, and I really hope he does, stay on the path and just be all about the work, because he's super talented, and we have yet to see that his true talent, power.
He hasn't peaked at all yet. That's the crazy thing with him. Like, I've seen all his roles. I'm like, there's like another level this dude can go. And it wasn't Marvel. I mean, he would have made a lot of money with Marvel.
Yes.
But Oscar type stuff, he hasn't scratched that yet. Crazy. It's crazy. As talented as he is. So we'll see.
But look, Michael B. Jordan is right in front of us. Okay, he's about to do it.
He's doing his thing. Yeah, he's gonna hold us down. You know what I'm saying? We get Majors back for another project. So I'm all down for that overall. Now, let's transition here. We got a story here about Demi Moore. And we gotta say, much like Demi Moore, holding it down for the women out there as they age gracefully. Demi Moore, it looks great. Like, every time I see her, I'm like, oh, how old is she now? Oh my God, she still looks great. We got Demi Moore, the comeback with the substance. And it's talking about this film is critically acclaimed. Retro. What's going on? I didn't hear too much about this. What's going on with this?
People are just going insane for this movie, The Substance, because it is Demi Moore's work in this is really incredible. She is vulnerable and very expressive, and the work that she's doing could land her in the realm of getting an Oscar.
Oh wow.
Like, this is the stuff that you do when you want to get an Oscar. You go to the lengths that she has gone in from this movie, and it is and they love the story like this. The Oscar or award season. They love sort of that that story of the actor or actress who's been out of the market for a while, and all of a sudden they come back with a doozy, this could be her moment to get that Oscar. So after, how many years has she been in the business, and
Right.
she
Decades.
yeah, and at one point she was the highest paid actress. I mean, she appeared on,
Wow.
the cover of magazines naked. She was
Mhm.
the first one with a baby when she had her baby, and she
All
covered
right.
just so that you don't see everything. But she was the first to do it. Now everybody does it. I mean, I don't know how many
Right,
times.
right.
She was very provocative. She shaved her hair off
Yeah.
for uh,
G.I.
um,
Jane. Yeah.
G.I.
Yep.
Jane. She was in, A Few Good Men,
Yeah.
holding her own
Yeah.
in that
With
movie.
Denzel. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, she, just has been very provocative and incredible throughout her career, and this is I really hope that she does get the attention that she deserves. They did the same thing with Lee Curtis, when she won
Last
the
year.
Oscar. Yeah, because
Uh,
she was basically in a lot of movies, for years doing Halloween, and also for
mhm,
many years doing a lot of comedies. But here she
mhm.
is. She does this one, uh, you know, uh, dramatic role.
Anything, everywhere, always, which was
Yes,
like a
yes,
groundbreaking film. Michelle Yeoh
yes, yes,
won the Oscar as well, and Jamie
yes.
Lee Curtis won the supporting Oscar,
Mhm.
which I didn't mind. I know a lot of people want Angela Bassett to win the
Yes,
supporting role. I
yes,
get it, but that film, anything, everywhere, always, like that film is amazing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I get why Jamie Lee Curtis got that one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And so that's the kind of story they like. Awards season, we may be seeing a lot of Demi Moore. So I'm kind of glad because I love seeing this for her. It seemed like she was,
Mhm.
after her and Ashton Kutcher
Yeah.
broke up. It seemed like she was going down this spiral.
Didn't
And
really hear about it much, yeah, after
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. And then she's like slowly was doing more and more things. And finally to see her acting again, I was like,
That's
wow, yeah,
cool.
we needed to see her do more dramatic roles or just roles in general. And this is good. I hope this is a new era for her of acting more, because she's got a talent
Yeah.
that's incredible. And um, I know that she's spent a lot of time being a mom, and it'd be great to see her act again. So yeah, this is great.
Because
This is great for her.
this is a good buzz for her, giving her flowers because she never really
Yes,
got an Oscar or a Golden Globe or anything like
yes,
that. And it's like, but she's entrenched in pop culture for us, for
yes,
my generation, generations, before me as well.
yes.
We recognize Demi Moore
Hmm.
place in this, just like Jamie Lee Curtis. Like it's kind of like the same to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Growing
Very
up,
much.
watching both of them, and it's like Jamie Lee Curtis got her flowers. I think Demi Moore needs her
And
flowers as well
deserve
too,
that, yeah.
and hopefully, at the very least, she gets that nomination because that would
Yes.
get her name out there, right? That
Yeah,
would get her
yeah,
name.
yeah.
People be talking about her, and that would get her more opportunities
I think
to
so.
do, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I understand passion projects. I understand you want to do your, like you said, Jamie Lee Curtis. Halloween, you got to call up Jamie Lee Curtis. She don't get no awards for that, right?
No, it's
But
not.
but it's just she's so entrenched in that IP, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
when you get that payoff, right? And she
Yeah.
got that with that project with Michelle Yeoh. Demi Moore, like when will she get her payoff? I like this. I like that she's in the conversation,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
hopefully it carries over. Yeah,
Yeah, they said the movie is very intense. It's got a lot of body horror, and
yeah,
there is sort of a message about beauty and
mm,
celebrity, and also vanity, and
mm.
the parts that a lot of people are liking it to, like, oh, women experiences, but I think it's also a lot of men in show business have to deal with this too. sort of
Okay.
this, like, you're getting
Okay.
older now, what's
I get you.
gonna happen,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there is an ageism going on there, and
Ah,
it happens more
interesting.
towards women, but I think, it is definitely something everybody goes through as you
Hmm.
age, um,
Right, right.
and so
That's
this is
interesting.
a great, yeah, the great topic, and I think the movie itself, the substance is going to be another one people are gonna be taking a good look at too, uh,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
for,
And
awards once, award seasons comes
yeah,
around.
I will champion Demi Moore. I mean, hey, she, that,
Yes,
you know, growing up,
she was
us
in Ghost.
guys,
Remember
we
Ghost,
we, we
that
were
movie
we, we
Ghost?
were yeah, we were crushing over her growing up. Like Demi Moore, she's a lifelong crush. Like she's
Yes,
so yeah, I want her to win
yes,
whatever praise she needs to get. I'm all on board with that.
yeah.
For sure, for sure. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, there's a little buzz going on. We'll see if it really kicks up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Going forward.
yeah.
So,
I mean, this
um,
isn't a
yep,
blockbuster movie, so it never will be, but it's
right.
one of those niche movies that,
Well,
is
those are the types
interesting.
though, retro, like these types of films. This is like Moonlight back in the day. This is like, just these type of films, art house type things
Yes.
where you get enough talk about it. Yeah, you may not be making a lot of money in the box office, but
Yeah, yeah,
the art of it is going to translate. We've seen that several times where it's not the big money maker, but it's the performance and hey, and the name. The name helps. She has a name,
yes,
so
yes,
that may be enough to carry this over in the conversation. So we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely see overall
Yes.
with that. Pulling for Demi Moore overall. Now we got a couple more topics here. We're talking about here NBC Universal overtakes YouTube, Disney, and Nielsen Media Distributor gauge for August. So we're talking about NBC Universal, which has Peacock as well. That's under Comcast overall. That they basically because of the Olympics,
Yeah.
that's boosted them over all other streamers in the market share. They got 13% plus, meaning more people are watching their platforms than anyone else in the world. That's
Yes.
pretty big for Comcast, NBC Universal.
See, I'm glad that you were able to describe it because I was like, I hope Phil is able to explain
I
that.
got you, I got you.
Because I saw this article and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Just to look at the trends and that the Olympics, it's not something I actually watched or was interested in
Mhm.
this year, but a lot of people, this was the most I've seen people interested in the Olympics in a while.
Really?
And
Okay.
so yeah, yeah. So um it's really interesting to see that, oh well, NBC still, is leading the charge when it comes um to that. And then
Mhm.
YouTube was right underneath.
Which is pretty wild that
Yeah.
streaming, we talk about streaming and podcasts and things like that. And it's like independent media that has entered because when you say YouTube, you're talking about all the independent content creators,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, that's pretty big, and it beat out Disney, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty wild. They had
Mhm.
like a little graphic showing everything, and I think Netflix was number 3, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh no, no, Netflix is number 4.
Okay.
And I just love this little like breakdown to show you exactly how everybody's doing.
Right.
This isn't, and this is not to do with what we were talking about before with viewers in general, but this is just for TV,
Right. This is a
For the
snap.
Nielsen ratings.
This is a snapshot during the Olympics. So
Mhm.
this is skewered, right? So
Yeah.
you got down there. If people see this, and I don't know if I could make this any bigger. But if you can fully see the chart of this, right? NBC Universal, again, they carry the Olympics. YouTube, Disney, okay, Netflix, great, Paramount, and Warner Brothers. You get the Fox because everyone else is watching the Olympics, so no one's really watching Fox as much. But Fox is right there, right? Yeah. And you got a lot of ancillary streamers after that. Yes. But this is huge. NBC Universal, we talk a lot, and this is Universal Pictures. Like this is all, they are pretty big conglomerate out there. Universal NBC, and so they own the rights to this Olympics. They're going to own this probably for our entire lifetime. Yeah. The biggest story with this is that YouTube has outranked Disney and Netflix and Paramount and Warner Brothers. It's like, right? That's huge.
That's surprising.
Any YouTube content creators out there, just keep doing your thing, because my goodness, your numbers are adding up to be better than broadcasters, Retro. That's what this is telling me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's big.
That is big.
Pretty big.
Yeah. So,
and Amazon's right there hanging in there. Oh, it's Amazon. Amazon is such a wild card. That's why I say all the time, like Amazon, they get their money because shipping and things like that, but viewership, we have no idea any way to gauge Amazon viewership unless they tell us.
Yes.
And they revealed their numbers here, and they're like 7 names down the line there.
Yeah.
Which is telling us that, the leaders that we thought are there, Disney, Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers. Those are the names, there. And YouTube is a surprise to me. That's the surprise.
Yeah, that's
everything seems normal until you see YouTube.
Yeah. Like YouTube? Wow.
Hey, keep making y'all content, man. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever y'all doing out there, they got Retro with her films, checking that out. Keep putting those numbers up because it's being tracked, it's being gauged. You're independent media, right?
Yes,
that's the new gauge out there that they can't really quantify because we don't know how much you viewers are going to support us or corporations like NBC, Disney, Netflix, Paramount, right? Warner Brothers, Fox, Amazon, right? Like we don't know how, when y'all watch them, are y'all clicking on our videos for suggested recommended videos? Like that's, according to this gauge, YouTube, y'all are.
Yeah.
Y'all are clicking on us. Yeah.
There are a lot of these programs on all these other places that are realizing, okay, if we want to be seen, we have to use YouTube. I mean, Netflix has a channel, Paramount has a channel, NBC has a channel. So in many ways, they're pouring into YouTube too. I mean, because they have to. They don't have a choice.
It's there. Like this. Yeah, this says it more than anything. Is like whatever niche you have out there. I've always tried to encourage people to be content creators. Like is literally firing up the camera.
Yes.
At home and talk about whatever you have a passion for. That's what content creating is, and whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And whatever category. So again, what this is showing us is that there's independent media is a thing. You got professional athletes coming over to independent media, right?
Yeah, they have
making podcasts. So they put into this number here when we talk about YouTube. So that's all of us. When you decide something that you have a passion for and do content about, your numbers matter. That's what this is showing us. So keep doing that, and whatever you love to talk about, keep doing it. Build up your community, and you never know where that will go overall. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see YouTube up there. That's pretty cool.
It's so great. It's so great.
That's
Just
pretty
when
cool.
you're
That's pretty
like,
cool.
oh, like YouTube is dying. I hear sometimes, and I'm like, you guys are like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No, yeah, YouTube is here. Just like
No,
again,
you're dying.
whatever you have a love for, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I was gonna have another story, but I actually kind of wrap this up right now.
Okay.
So we're gonna wrap this up at this moment here. But we covered plenty of stories,
Oh yes, yes.
plenty of time to geek out with retro. Like
Oh.
I don't want to cut off my time with her, but I gotta wrap this one up here this time. But definitely a lot of cool stories with just overall with film entertainment as per usual. Retro, do you have anything else coming up this weekend for your viewers?
Oh yes. Well, this Saturday I will be reviewing. Oh, sorry. This Saturday we'll be doing a watch party for The Shining, 1980.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Stanley
you told me
Kubrick.
about that.
Yeah, so that's happening this Saturday. And if there's anything else, I think just head over to the channel and check things out. I do have a couple of
Cool.
videos I am dropping this week. I am going to be dropping a wonderful discussion I had where it was talking about the Clash of the Titans 1980 movie with my friend Douglas A. Burton, and it's really like intense. It was like 3 hours of pure bliss. And
Awesome.
I got nerd in the middle of my name, so I mean, I had to live up to it.
We count on that. You living up to that, totally for sure. And as I always tell people, hey, check out Retro's channel. Is always in the description when you see her on this platform for the retro content, and then for the modern stuff, come on over here.
Yes.
For this week with retro. Appropriately titled, because you never know what's gonna happen with holidays. And you got Thanksgiving coming up. We're gonna be off for that. We're gonna Christmas. New Year. I'll be off for all those weeks, retro. I'm I'm taking those weeks off, right? I'm not gonna be streaming. But any other weeks, I'm totally looking forward to seeing retro here.
Yes.
And
we need a break sometime, I guess.
Well, this content, but no, this is great. Again, much love to all the viewers, all the comments, all the feedback that y'all giving us. We have a great time seeing y'all comments, and I know and keep what I'm saying, keep praising retro. It's okay. I'm just in the background here. It's okay. I'm just here to praise retro. It's all good. I'm gonna put a comment as well. As soon as it's over, I'm gonna put a comment under saying retro's the greatest. I'm gonna do that. And y'all continue to do that as well too. But I still
you're so
retro nerd girl. This week of retro, we're coming back. Whenever we come back, we'll be back that week.
Yes.
Till next time, we out.